wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to start this episode.
Yeah.
I was either going to do, holy crap, sports is back, Major League Baseball, we are here, finally. Or I was going to do, oh my God, it happened. Seattle has a hockey team, baby. Unleash the Kraken. So now you get both.
Now we get both. Yep.
You're welcome, everyone. Welcome to On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan on this fantastic Thursday where baseball is back. Seattle has a hockey franchise. Nothing can go wrong. Life is good. How are you, Durf?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty well. Was at the lake for a little bit this afternoon before I got back and set up for the show, and yeah, enjoy a little beach life and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Like Charlotte Beach or up at Durand on the sand? Like
between my house and Shaler's.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I don't go up in that direction very often.
Yeah.
That's kind of out of my way. But yeah, I know where at least you're talking about at the very least. For those who do not live in where we live, that point conversation was meaningless to you. But welcome to the show. Regardless, we have an amazing show. We're going to talk about baseball's return. We're going to talk about other stuff. We have all kinds of things slated for the show. And the second half of the show, our main segment, is going to be a half-hour interview with Ofilia, the lead singer of the band in Poland, the rock band in Poland, Arshenic. Super, super, super good show. Make sure you listen to it. Make sure all your friends listen to it. Make sure your entire family listens to it. For those watching on YouTube, you can see my Mariners hat. They're not going to win a darn thing. Yeah. I'm so excited. So excited sports is back. You have no idea. But all those things where I just said about listening and sharing, subscribing, all the follow and likes, Durf can tell you where all of that is.
Absolutely. Well, you can follow On and Off the Field on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or you can also like and share. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, as Dylan mentioned, where you can get uncut episodes, our live shows on Tuesdays currently, and other great content. While you're on your mobile device, make sure to rate and review the show on iTunes and let us know how we're doing and what you like or dislike about the show. And you can find all these links at onoffthefield.com along with our fundraising efforts and to learn more about myself, Dylan, and the show. And last but not least, if you're on your mobile device or your computer or however you search the webs, head on over to rtfsportsnetwork.com where you can catch On and Off the Field on our live show on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our recorded show is on Fridays now from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And last but not least, check out all the great blogs that are on the network's website. There are so many good writers on the network. There's some really great articles, some really good reading out there. So check it out.
And speaking of fundraising efforts, that's on our charities tab on the website. We have Feeding America still going, along with our main effort right now is the Boys and Girls Club of America, which all the money that is raised for anyone joining us in our fantasy football league, On and Off the Field Fantasy Football League, $20 buy-in for that. That money all goes towards charity. So if there is not a season, I cannot give you your money back. But regardless, it'll be a lot of fun. Just make sure you're in the OOTF family group page. Someone created a fake Chris Sims account and is now trolling me on the group page. You might find it fun. I despise it, but it's happening, and I'll deal with it as the punches come. But it's a lot of fun. It's a good group. It'll be a great fantasy football league, and it goes towards charity. So I mean,
yeah, if
you don't want to join, that means you hate charity. I guess you just don't like being a good person. I guess I don't know. That's your thing to deal with. That's fine. Yeah. But since we have so much to get to and so little time, we're going to jump into our first and the worst. The other sports. Should just sign off every time we do that. Major League Baseball is back, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Teeing off right now is the Yankees versus the Nationals. It's Garrett Cole going up against Max Scherzer. They start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm not sure what the score is, what's going on right now. I do know all 50 players. They took a knee before the game started, and then they stood when the anthem started playing. It was kind of the strategy the Cowboys took last year at one point. They took a knee beforehand. They all linked arms. I don't know if everyone remembers that game. Whether that was 2 years ago or it was last year, one or the other. Mm-hmm. Right now, top of the first, 2 outs. The Yankees are up 2-0.
Oh.
Someone just hit a homer. Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh, wow.
Homered, and Judge scored. So 2-0 right now. The Yankees are up. Game is just starting. Not looking good.
On the World Series champs to add on top of that, too, yeah.
Not good. Not good for the Nationals. No. Are the Yankees the favorites right now to win this shortened season?
It wouldn't surprise me. They're so stacked.
They just have 9 guys that can take you deep on that roster. It's absolutely bonkers. You got Aaron Hicks, I believe, up first. Aaron Judge. It's probably not Aaron Hicks. I'm not sure. But Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton, Gardner, Sanchez, Voit. It's just there's no breaks in that lineup. Any of them.
Yeah.
It's like normally you get to the catcher for a team and they're hitting 150. Okay, here's an out. No, their catcher is Sanchez, who is an absolute monster, who just was raking homers last year. It's insanity. But our other game before, some people are saying the Tampa Bay team the Tampa Bay Rays have the best chance to take down the Yankees. Excuse me? The Rays? Yeah. I think they were at least decent last year, but there's no one stopping the Yankees. I hate to say it, but no one is. The Giants and the Dodgers are the next game up. It's Johnny Cueto versus Dustin May.
Very nice.
It took a solid 1 hour into the season, not even, for Kershaw to go on IR with a back injury. So it's Clayton Kershaw. He's a Hall of Famer. Let's confirm that. Is he a Hall of Famer?
I would say so, yeah.
His numbers are pretty impressive for at least regular season. He struggles in the postseason. We all know that. But with all these injuries, it's been kind of the back half of his career so far. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to play, but it's just injury after injury. He gets into the playoffs, and last year they make him pitch twice in back-to-back days, or it was they skipped one game. They made him pitch a lot. I don't know. I think he is a Hall of Famer, but he's going to be one of the weirdest Hall of Famers with all these injuries when it's all said and done.
Yeah, definitely.
So Dustin May's taking over. Giants versus the Dodgers. And then last but not least here, real quick, is the playoff format has been created. is the proper term, I think. So right now it's going to be an expanded playoff, 16 teams. They're going to have all 6 division winners. And then the people that play second place in those divisions will also make the playoffs. And then 2 more from each league, National League, American League. 2 more teams, so a total of 4, will also, with the best record, will make the playoffs, making 16, but it still needs approval of MLB owners. I mean, how many normally make a playoff in Major League Baseball? I feel like I think it's 12, right? It's first and second places.
I want to say 12.
I want to say 12, but I also
10.
Is it 10 only? Oh, because it might be the division winners and then 2 wild cards from each side. So it could be 10. That makes more sense.
That's what
This is why we do other sports, because we just like to make ourselves sound like idiots right off the bat. And then normally you're just like, what are these guys talking about? And then you turn it off. But 10 makes sense. I could Google it right now, but that's way too much work.
I remember hearing it on this morning, I think it was, or was it yesterday? I don't remember. But those wee hours in the morning, I'm getting ready for work, and I want to say it's 10.
Okay, I'll take 10 because 2 wild card teams from each side, and then the 6 division winners makes a lot of sense to me. So that still needs approval, but it's an expanded playoff format. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they're doing expanded. Maybe just to make it kind of more fair with a shortened season.
That's probably. Hopefully, you get better ratings. Hopefully, the league doesn't suffer as much if they're doing a little bit more baseball games in the postseason with the shortened season. So it makes sense. More money.
When you bring money and ratings into it, now it makes sense. I get it now. I understand. Perfectly fine. So that's it. That's going to be voted on here pretty shortly. I would assume that's done in the next day or two. They kind of need to have that done pretty quickly. It's important. Yeah. In other news for Major League Baseball is Mookie Betts and the Dodgers have the weirdest thing, because the news broke that Mookie Betts and the Dodgers were finalizing a deal. Mm-hmm. I thought this was done months ago. Like they traded the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts to the Dodgers, and I just thought they had a contract. I thought they traded him and they did something. It was so long ago. I just thought it happened and we moved on. Mm-hmm. Apparently not, because now it's official. Mookie Betts has signed a 12-year, $365 million deal. I'm kind of curious, though. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious. We're seeing all of these much longer deals now. This is becoming a new thing. 10 years with Patrick Mahomes. I believe it was 10 with Bryce Harper. Mm-hmm. Now you got 12 with Mookie Betts. Who does this benefit more, honestly? Does it benefit the player, or does it benefit the team to do a long deal like this?
I think it depends on how the contract's written, like how the money payments break down. Because if it's more up front, then I think it benefits the player. But if it gets to a point where if the team will start taking more and more of a hit for the salary, then they don't have a salary cap, so that's the tricky part there. For the MLB, I think it's tricky. But this is kind of like a till death do us part kind of deal with Betts and the Dodgers.
I feel like he retires with this contract.
I really think that's possible. He's a young player. You put in a solid 12 years with the Dodgers, and then, see you guys later.
Yeah, I made my $365 million. See you later. And then that's the other part of a 12-year deal. You wait 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Restructuring is always an option at this point. That's what I think. Yeah. I think deals like this are much more team friendly. I think that's why teams are starting to lean towards. You had the first big long deal with Bryce Harper. Yeah. Now Patrick Mahomes. It's becoming a little bit more popular because I think teams are realizing if we do this, we have our thumb on them. They're not going anywhere,
right? Unless
something drastic happens.
Yep.
And we can just do whatever we want. 4 years in, hey, you wanna bump this up to 385, keep you happy, or hey, can we move some of this money here for this season, back to this year? It's so you can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. I guess it depends on how the contract's written, like you said, but I feel like anything's possible for these teams when you have a deal for 12 years. You have a lot of wiggle room with that money.
That's the Dodgers just putting faith in baseball for that long to spend that kind of money on one player, spending that money on talent. You're just putting the faith in baseball there for the most part.
Baseball seems to be taking its own little hit, but Mookie Betts will make out just fine. Mookie Betts, regardless of the situation, is going to make a lot of money. So good for him. He's a great young player. The Dodgers are an exciting team. Michael Buckheiser thinks he's not even the best non-pitcher on the team, because I said he's a top 5 player in the league. Mm-hmm. And Michael Buckheiser from Mike and Mike Manauer decided that was a cold take, and I think he said Cody Bellinger is actually the best player on the Dodgers. And got to take a quick commercial break here for the RTF Sports Network. Enjoy this episode and our interview with Ofilia from Arshenic.
Well, he's a player that could be getting another mega deal. Could be getting a mega deal like this.
He could. I'm definitely not saying he's not talented. Don't get me wrong.
Right? Yeah. No, but I think this kind of deal opens up the gates for these kind of players. So these younger players, younger talents that you stick it out, the team's going to pay you a lot of money. Like Bellinger, Judge for the Yankees is another one. They're going to get
his day.
Paid.
Yeah.
When the time comes. But this kind of deal, though, this long-term higher number, I think it makes it more. I think you're going to get more consistency on teams in the MLB as compared to the NBA, who changes 50 players
super teams
in a week.
Right. Yeah. You just like 3 players just going somewhere for 3 years. Right. They win 3 titles and then they all disband.
Right.
You don't really see that now. I guess you could bring in a couple players on shorter contracts to play along with your superstar and like Mookie Betts, but Mookie ain't going nowhere. That's for sure.
Hey, it's fine with me.
And then one piece here that I was very upset about. See, I'm not big into boxing, but everyone knows who Mike Tyson is. Mike Tyson is a beast. He bit a dude's ear off. It was amazing. I love the guy. He talks like this, and he's so much fun. And he had a TV show when he was like with a pigeon or something. It was a weird show. I thought we were all getting Mike Tyson and Holyfield.
Yeah.
I thought that's what we were hyping up. It was supposed to be Tyson versus Holyfield, like the third match or something, the tiebreaker, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this big thing. And then they come out and be like, yeah, Mike Tyson's going to be fighting a guy named Roy Jones Jr. in an 8-round match on September 12th. Why?
That's weird.
Why? Like, why would Mike Tyson even waste his time? If I don't know who Roy Jones Jr. is, it's probably not worth my time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I could be wrong. I never got into boxing that much, but I know Tyson and Holyfield.
Right.
I at least know who they are.
So this is after he fights a shark? Wow, he's got a busy summer.
Yeah, he's got, Is fighting the shark going to be kind of like the Michael Phelps thing where it's like he's going to swim against a shark and then it was just like CGI or something like that?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. It's Shark Week when that happens.
I want Mike Tyson in a cage in the ocean, and I want a shark to come to the cage. I want him to punch him in the nose. That's what I want. If it's not that, I don't want it.
There you go.
We should be producing Shark Week. Those guys could lose. Yeah. Last but not least for the other sports, I already mentioned it. Release the Kraken!
Woo!
Seattle has an NHL team for the 32nd franchise in the league, and they will be hitting the ice in 2021-2022 season, and I could not be more thrilled. I will be buying a lot of Kraken gear. And now we just need the Supersonics back. That's all we need now.
Right?
We got the Hawks, we got the Mariners, we got the Kraken. We actually have a soccer team. I don't know who they are. They're there. I know they're there.
I know they're there.
But I think that one really popular guy plays on that team, or at least he used to. Donovan. I think he plays on the Seattle's team.
Yeah. Does he still play?
I could sit here. He might. I could sit here all night and never figure it out. But I'm so excited. Excited for that.
That's going to be so cool because now you're going to be at an even number now, too, then.
Yeah.
Like you'll be back to 16 and 16, which I think is going to work really well for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the logos are impressive. They're like, I think
they're so good.
The color I'm not a huge fan of yet. It's got to grow on me.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's almost like this a little bit,
but it's like a little. It's more like almost like a powdery blue.
Yeah,
with the green mixed in. So I don't know, but I love the subtle hints that they did in the logos, like the tentacle in the S.
Oh yeah,
with the eye up top.
Yeah,
and then. Oh, someone pointed out to me one of the other logos has the Space Needle in it.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I just saw the S, and I saw one other thing, but
there was another one. Another logo has the Space Needle in it for Seattle, so they definitely thought about the design really well. I just don't know about the color. It's got to grow on me.
I mean, I feel like everyone's known it was going to be Kraken for a while. Like things broke months ago. When they first announced Seattle was going to have an NHL team, like Kraken was one of the first ones out of the gate. So I'm sure they've had a long time to design this, and it shows because it's awesome. Rest in peace to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The hype video? No, I haven't watched the hype video.
I watched the hype video earlier, and they kept showing these pictures of like these old-timey photos of like people wearing Seattle jerseys for hockey. So like there used to be a hockey team in Seattle a long time ago. I didn't have a chance to look it up to see what their name was. Like maybe this is a repurposing name from like who knows when. But
interesting.
I thought it was a little interesting that maybe Seattle does have maybe a little hockey history there.
If they had one, they must have not been very good because I never even heard of them.
Oh, so. Probably, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace to my Pittsburgh Penguin fandom. It's been a good ride. I will root for them through these playoffs still. This will be my final ride with the Penguins in this playoff format. But I will not root for them next season. This is it. I'll just next season I'll just be there to just watch. It'll be a good time. I'll just root for whoever. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as the 2021-22 season hits, it's all Kraken, baby. So excited. So excited. I'm going to buy all the gear. All the gear.
There you go.
All right. We're going to move on to NFL news. We're going to kind of get through this a little bit faster than anticipated. But this first topic here, it has happened. Washington has its new name. It's so exciting. We have the Washington football team. You heard that right, folks. The Washington football team. They will keep the burgundy and gold, and now they will just have a number. The player's number will be on their helmet. I believe it'll be gold, and that's it. At least for now. It's temporary until they can. I'm guaranteeing they ran into trademark issues.
Oh, yeah.
That seems to be what's happening. So they're just going with football team because they needed something.
Yeah. I think the only thing besides the helmet, they're changing the Redskins on the jerseys when I'll just say Washington on them.
That would make sense. Or just take them off, but that's fine.
Well, that
just don't say anything.
Well, the good thing is it's not Washington team football, because then you could have the best memes ever.
Darn it, they messed that up. But see, this goes back to the other thing we mentioned a couple weeks ago, was they could have done DCFC.
Yeah, that
would have been dope, and it's virtually the same thing.
Yeah,
it's a missed opportunity. It's missed. Someone, I guess we didn't chant DCFC loud enough for them to hear. So now we get Washington football team. Yay!
For now,
yeah. For now. The NFL is expected to recommend the use of a newly introduced Oakley mouth shield for, helping not spread COVID, although they'll be tackling each other. I don't get any of this, but this is fine. Oakley is going to design this mouth shield. It's going to be something that's so water droplets can't get on people. It's going to help prevent direct transmission of droplets. The shield is made of clear plastic with slits or holes in it that are designed to block direct path of a droplet while also allowing for breathing and verbal communication.
Yeah.
If you saw the design of it, it's like it just looks like a piece of plastic with some holes in it, like little tiny holes. So I guess you can still breathe and talk, and it's not completely muffled. Are they not? They're not required to use it on the field, right? Yeah, they're not expected to use it during play, but on the sideline for sure. When you're sitting on the bench next to your buds.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just It all just seems like a scam. I don't get it.
I know J.J. Watt's been one of the players that's reached out about it and who's tested it out, and I know he said he doesn't like it. But I think that's probably Oakley is probably the best one to probably try and come up with something for these helmets, just because they do the visors already that are so popular with a lot of players, and I know that's what J.J. Watt's kind of point was as to why he doesn't like the face shield, because he didn't like the visor from the get-go. But
he doesn't like the visor either?
No, he said he had trouble breathing. Maybe his helmet's too big. The visor's in front of his mouth instead of it's just his eyes.
Yeah, it seems like a you problem. I don't know. JJ is he's been very vocal about the whole COVID thing.
Yeah,
just from the start, he was like the first guy to really say we want to play. We need to know. We need to know what's going to happen with our safety. So, yeah, I don't know. I've never really understood any of this. I feel like that's as good as you're going to get.
Yeah,
plastic with some holes in it. I mean, I don't know what else I don't know what else you can design to make it any better than that.
Right.
That seems like as good as you're going to get. So, We'll see. We'll keep an eye on Oakley and their mouth shield. That'll be a real close topic.
That could work in the winter, though. You know that? You won't get snow in your face.
Oh.
Or mud as much.
I was gonna say, you won't get as much up your mask if you're, like, diving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's maybe.
Let's see how the plastic wears out, but yeah.
Trash. I just hate that. I hate the whole thing. Training camp is only a few days away, or at least it's supposed to, and the league is they're still continuing to negotiate with how to handle the economic part of all of this. So virtually, I think it was the owners proposed a $40 million cap cut to make up for these expenses, and the players were like, no. We reported this a couple of weeks ago that they did ask, they wanted to spread out the issue with the cap, spread out the deficit there, the hit, through 2020 to 2030 season. So it's not just one giant hit. Right. That's going to impact. That's just going to, I kind of agree with the players on that. You can't just say, hey, we're taking $40 million off your cap. Godspeed.
Right.
How does that even work? What does that happen to contracts? You just like take a percentage away from players that season?
No, what happens is you cut veterans.
That's ridiculous.
You're going to have so many players without jobs because the teams won't be able to pay them.
So it's like if you have a star quarterback, you're either going to like cut your quarterback for the season to save $30 million if your quarterback's making that much, or you're just going to be. That's ridiculous. That's just, I can't believe owners want to just save their money. They don't want to have this deficit through 10 years, but you can't just drop 40 mil on the cap space and be like, all right, you're fired. You fired. Donald Trump. Yeah, that was stupid from the start on the owner's part. I never understood that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be weird. I mean, they're gonna make so much money as soon as football's back and playing. Like, I don't know why they're so worried about this offseason taking a hit when I feel like their sales are gonna be through the roof just on online stuff.
And what other sports can be going on during the NFL? If the NFL really does succeed and they continue to push forward, you're going to have, I believe the baseball playoffs should end in October, and then NBA will be done maybe around the same time, sometime in September maybe, and then NHL they should all end sometime in October. No, maybe if they end in November for 2 months, 3 months. I don't know when some of these next seasons are going to start. I know the NBA wanted like a Christmas startup,
right?
But the NFL is going to dominate sports for 2, 3, maybe 4 months. You're going to be fine as long as there's no second wave that shuts things down. But it's just a bunch of billionaires, millionaires, whatever, that are just 40 mil in the pockets of some of these owners. They'll drop on a pool house, man. Don't act like you're struggling right now. $40 million cap cut. Get out of here. It's ridiculous. But I think that's all we had for news. That is all of our NFL news. That's all of our other sports news. So next up is our interview with Ofilia from Arshenic. I hope you all enjoyed the interview. We had a lot of fun doing the interview, so we hope you enjoy it as much as we did. Hello, everybody. And as promised, we have an amazing guest coming onto the show today. And we are very, very excited to welcome on the lead singer of Arshenic it's a dark rock, alternative metal kind of amazing band from Poland. Their last album was Final Collision. It came out last year around September in 2019. We are going to welcome on Ofilia, the lead singer for the band. How are you today?
Hi, guys. I'm fine, thank you.
As we were just discussing earlier, I mean, we had to wake up early. We got our coffee. Normally, we drink beer during the show. That's normally our drink of choice. But we thought maybe 9 a.m. for a beer is maybe a little too early.
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe if you did this interview, would be funnier, I think.
All right. All right, I'll be right back. Let me run down to the kitchen and grab a beer. All right.
Let me go and take my wine.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you, what's your drink of choice then?
Well, actually, pink wine is my favorite, and rum with Coke. So those are my two poisons.
Nice.
Do you have a preference? If you went down to your kitchen right now, which one would you grab for this?
I would grab wine because I'm in Gdańsk right now, and I really don't live here in summertime because I live really outside the town because of all these lockdowns and stuff in Poland. So I'm avoiding people, but I'm here only for 2 days, and there's nothing to eat or drink beside this pink wine right now.
Well, it's not a terrible option. Yeah, if you had only one thing to drink.
Sugar, so yeah.
Well, as you know, this is normally a sports show. We normally just talk about sports and we do sports stuff and all that good stuff. But we couldn't pass up after we got that Instagram message from you. It was something that we just absolutely couldn't pass up. But we do love music as well. But I just had to ask you real quick: do you follow sports at all?
Sorry, totally no.
No.
No, only. No, wait, that's a lie. I do follow one sport. That's my paintball team. That's the only sport I do. So
nice.
Besides, that's nothing else.
Hey, that's cool. We're on a radio network that has a bunch of different sports shows, and one of the shows is a paintball show called Behind the Bunker.
Cool.
So that is a legitimate fun sport. I personally don't like it. I think it hurts.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
That's the fun in this. Yeah, that's the only thing I like about it.
Do you play paintball, Fred?
It's been a few years since I played, but it was very sporadically played.
I think the last time I played might have been, it's 2020, maybe 7 years ago when I was in college. Long time ago.
Yeah.
We played like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So I don't have any wounds left. They only last for 2 weeks. So.
Does anybody get really mean and freeze their paintballs? Or do they normally keep it pretty fun?
No, they don't.
That's what some of my friends used to do. That's why I stopped playing. You got people that are
horrible,
crazy.
Really.
Yeah, that hurts a lot, but that's...
No, that's just mean. I think that's just mean. We like to play I mostly like to play in a small field. When you go through another player, then you can get like from 2 meters. So it really, really hurts without any freezing.
Yeah, that you don't need any added extra pain level. That just alone, the paintball itself, that hurts enough. We're good.
Yeah. Quick fingers and you have like 6-7 wounds with one shot. So that's enough.
Yeah, that is plenty. So I guess we'll just get started with the first question. This is the first question that I always ask anybody that's in a band or is a singer. I did a couple of semesters taking like music classes, so I always ask anyone that's saying this first question: how did you first start singing? Like, and you knew you wanted to take it to a professional level. Did you just sing in the shower back in the day, and you're like, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this. I'm gonna do this on a stage now instead"? Yeah.
Not really. I think my parents were the ones who think like that, because they got me first teacher when I was about 7. I had this this mind condition when I was thinking about everything I'm doing since I was a baby. So I was a 3-year-old playing on the piano and thinking about buying some flowers or stuff like, something idiotic like that. And my parents said, well, that would be a good idea to get someone to teach her how to sing. So I got my first teacher when I was 7. So it's basically like this.
Was the original singing back then just kind of like what anyone I was 7 kind of singing, like your scales, normal songs, and then you kind of just transition into this? I mean, your voice is beautiful in these songs, but it's also has that turn where it turns into like more of a metal sound.
Well, I used to sing everything, so finding my own sound was something that just got in the way. I just always liked this heavy music. That was something that's really moved me. So I knew when I was about 15 that I want to have a metal band. So I got this first metal band, my own, when I was 19, when I came here to Gdańsk to study journalism. So I got this first band, and it was a metal band. So since then, and it was really a long time ago, I'm doing this more rockish, metalish kind of music.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So is there kind of anyone when you were like kind of sort of starting out that you looked up to kind of give you your inspiration when it came to making music? And was there a certain, maybe it's the same answer here, but maybe a certain band or a singer that you kind of looked up to, or you kind of liked what they did and kind of like, yeah, I want to use that kind of similar style or technique for my music?
Well, I didn't think of anything like that to try to copy someone. It wasn't never in my mind anything like this, but I listened to lots of music and different vocalists, and I listened to blues singers, and I listened to lots of pop singers, good pop singers, also to just like try to find out something that I can learn from them. I'm also a vocal coach, so I need to listen to everything, also to the music I really wouldn't like for myself, but I need to listen to something to teach someone how to sing it, because they sing whatever they want to sing, and I wouldn't cut their wings to just tell my students, you have to sing something I like. That would just be
right.
Not fair. So I listened to lots of things. When I was a kid, my first heavy albums were Him and Rammstein. This European, I don't know if you might know Rammstein, I think. The German band, yeah. And do you know Him? Ville Valo? They're from Finland, I think.
That one I'm not familiar with.
I'm not sure about that one.
So they were a gothic band. They don't really exist right now. But those were the first two bands with heavy music I really loved. And then I started to look for more because I had my full internet working like in Poland when I was in high school. Before that, I only got some MP3s. Somebody gave me, only CDs we could buy. And the music wasn't like right now. You can just go to Spotify and listen to whatever you want. Yeah, it was so totally limited. So I got only those biggest bands and vocalists to listen to. But now I'm trying to find everything I can, just to listen to everything.
Very nice.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I was looking around, learning about the band and everything. You did it back in, I think it was, what year? 2011. You're on a TV show. Must Be the Music, and he did the metal cover of Lady Gaga's Paparazzi. That was really cool.
Thanks. This cover was nothing we really intended to do, but it was a kind of a dare for my musicians. I told them, I want to do something really crazy. Let's do some covers, and they were like, what covers? And there was a day they got me really mad. I don't remember what it was, but we just were just tearing apart, and I knew they will do something to say sorry to me, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do Lady Gaga. I hate you, but we will.
It's At least they went with it, because it turned out great, in my opinion. I saw it on YouTube. I thought it was fantastic. So
thanks. We had a lot of fun doing it.
Hey, that's what really matters then. As long as everyone had fun at the end of the day, that helps a lot.
Yeah, so, I think where the humor ends, all the fun ends, and you don't really want to do this anymore if you don't have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
As soon as we're not having fun with the podcast anymore, we're out the door too. That's just how it is. I'm sick of you, Fred. I'm out of here. Okay. Yeah. So when you were putting the band together, I found a couple of different dates when everyone really came together, but currently it's Vlad, Mark, and Bartosz.
Bartek, that's his name, Polish name, and Bartosz is his full name, but Bartek is his pet name. Mark is not in a band anymore. He left last autumn. He said he's too old for this shit. So no fun.
Hey, I say that when it comes to contact sports, I can't do that stuff anymore either. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, well, this happens sometimes. He's over 40 years old, so I think he's still young, but he said that he doesn't want to do it anymore. So we were looking for someone new, and we have this brand new shiny bass player who's learning how to play our songs. So I hope he'll stay in this band for some time. And yeah, so Vlad is Włodek, it's his Polish name. Vlad is his nickname. It's for Dracula. Dracula was Vlad Palownik. That's why his nickname is Vlad. So he came to the band in 2009. So it was 2009. Was about 2 years after I got this band. Bartek is almost from the beginning of the band. So this is this main squad of Arshenic.
Well, it seems like a great squad, yeah, and you make great with when Mark was there and all the music that's there. He was a great bass player apparently because the music's amazing. And
Thanks.
So when you came all together and you had your vision for the band, you came together, you sat down, like what do we want to do? When you sit down, how would you describe kind of the music that you all came up with, or was it kind of your vision? They said, hey, this is what we're going to play, or did you all kind of come together and say, this is what we want the band to look like?
We have this conversation every time we're working on new material. So we do it really often, every few years. So this vision of a band when we started was totally different. We didn't have any vision. We did it. Guys just play their instruments. I needed to do something with it, so I wrote the melody lines which would fit this music. So it was also so random. This first album, which is called also Arshenic, it's mostly in Polish, but it also has this Lady Gaga cover on it. It's like everything is by accident in there. So it was just trying out how to even make music. So that's how we did it. And the second EP we released in 2016. It has 3 songs on it. 3 songs, I think. Yeah, 3. Those were practically also random music. We were trying out new things. We got this new bass player like Mark. And when we were starting to make this Final Collision album, it took us 3 years because we did really lots of songs for this album, but we picked only those, I think there's 11 on stream and 13 on the CD. So we were picking only those songs. I wanted every song to be as good to be a single. So that is why it took us so long, because we did over 25 songs in this amount of time. But we were only picking those which one I really thought they were the strongest songs we have written in this time. So this was our vision. We wanted to make it dark, a bit witchy, and just guys went with that. Each of us listened to different music, so this is why this is like, I think it's kind of gender free album. It's like it's not a metal album. When you listen to it, it's kind of progressive, but it also has electronics in it, and sometimes it's like more like pop metal. I think the song Follow is really a catchy song. So each of this every song in this album is different. That's why I think that was the vision, to make good songs, not a theme songs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it's similar to in the sports world when someone gets up to the big leagues and they walk onto that field for the first time, just that feeling that they remember kind of being in the bright lights there and this is it. Do you remember that feeling when you kind of put out that first album and be like, yep, this is what we're going to start with? And maybe that first time you walked onto that stage to perform live?
It was kind of different when we started, because we started this band in our first concert was in 2006 as a band, but we released this album. Our first album official release was in 2015. So we've recorded our first album in 2009. So we didn't find any label which would just release this album in a decent label. So that is why we didn't do it. We said, okay, never mind, let's just keep this CD just like home, don't put it anywhere. There was no stream back then in 2009 also, like beside YouTube, and we didn't want to just put it into YouTube because we paid really a lot to just record this album, so we didn't want to give it for free. And that's why just before we even released this album, we had over 100 concerts on our account. So there was no like moment like you're talking about, that this flashlights. It's just so step by step for us.
Yeah. Had plenty of experience leading up to that.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we made this this new album so conscious. We really knew how we wanted to sound. We really work a lot with the production of the song. So I think it's really good album, and I'm really proud of it just by listening to it.
Yeah, I've been listening to it for the past week. It's a lot of solid music in there for sure. And
Thanks.
Speaking of a solid album, and do you have a favorite song, maybe just a favorite song to perform, or just one that you're really proud of on any album that you just go back to, just something that really comes to mind as soon as you hear favorite?
My favorite song to sing live is Madness. I really love this song because it's really, really an original song. It's like a bit psychedelic. It has different influences. It's when I sing it live, people get into this kind of hypnosis. They just move to this song. They close their eyes. They're just so into this song. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. There's an amount of people who just sway in the same direction, the same tempo, and it's really like a spell. I love to do it. And when we sing the second part of a song, when I'm singing those high vocals, and this drums start beating, and then I sing louder, they're just like freezing, opening their eyes, like, like the world is ending or something. I love those places.
Yeah. So I think we touched on this a little bit here. Kind of, there's a lot that's changed with the band since 2007, and definitely the music industry has changed a lot. Do you find it now harder or easier with the internet to kind of get out there and just get people to see your band or listen to your music and just know who you are, and just try to make a name for yourself as far as you can, since it seems like it's kind of like it's a pretty saturated market? But is it harder or easier now?
It's totally different game right now. Because there, like you said, it's really saturated market, and lots of people make music and different music, and rock music and metal music is not really popular in this younger generations. So less people listen to it. It's not mainstream. It's not even popular music. And still, there are lots of bands who play. In my region, it's North Poland. We have in this, I live in a 3-city, that's 3-city complex. So we have 3 large cities nearby, and there are over 100 rock bands playing right now in my region.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine that's really, really a lot. So we're competing with not only the musician, with good musician, but we're only trying to be heard through the musicians who are just starting, and also people prefer to watch, Netflix rather than listen to music. So it's really hard to get their attention right now, and it's totally expensive right now to make people hear you, because when you just get a great music video, perfect music video, and you're uploaded on YouTube, then you have to make people somehow to watch it, and they don't wanna, because they say, nah, I have something else to do right now, I will not listen or watch your music video. So you have to just pay those ads to make people look at it, and you don't get really money from stream. You might know those how much people get. It's like few cents for 100 views or something like that. And if you have this really stealing label who doesn't even pay you anything, then it's really, really sad, because you just put the money in it. I think we rock musicians are maniacs, I think, because it's not really sane behavior. I think we don't get anything from it. We just put the money in it. We do it. We're happy that 2 people heard us. So it's great.
Yeah, we touched on, happiness is the key. Don't be fooled. We're definitely not making a living by doing this show right now. This is not. You don't? Definitely not. Maybe one day, but
fingers crossed.
I think absolutely. So, like you said, you did say it earlier about how you're a vocal coach. So, I guess you helped them advance their careers already. But if there was number one piece of advice that you have that you give someone when they're entering the world of music, just something that you always tell everybody, the number one key to kind of being successful or starting out, what is that?
Yeah. Breathe. I tell them to breathe. Seriously, because when I teach people, the thing they just always forget is breathing. And when you don't breathe, you just get this tense throat, and you just don't. Your voice won't just behave as you want it to. So I think that's the best advice for everyone. Just breathe. Keep calm. You will make it. You'll have your time. You'll be fine. Just breathe.
Yeah, that's great advice just for life in general. That's for everybody. That's great. Definitely. Yeah.
So I think kind of here looking towards the future a little bit here, are there any big plans for the band coming up? I know you just released Final Collision last autumn. Are you just kind of riding that right now, or is it already right back to the grindstone, kind of working on new material, working on new albums? Is there any kind of are you guys going on tour at all? Any plans for that in the future?
Well, this touring part, it's not really possible to even think about it right now because of the coronavirus. Right. So there are no concerts in Poland totally. There are only those small outdoors concerts when you can get 100 people. That's max. You don't have any club concerts. And politicians in Poland say there won't be any club concerts till the autumn next year. So that's horrible actually here. So we are not really trying to focus on concerts, but we're doing new songs. We already have 4 new songs, and I think we'll be releasing them as a singles. We were thinking about releasing an EP, but right now I think it's better to just release a single, because like we just said, people don't have time to really get into this music. There are lots of music to listen to. So when we would release this EP, I don't think people would listen anything but the singles. So I think we'll be making just new music videos and releasing single every 2 months. I think that's the plan. Right now, when the lockdown started in Poland, right before that, I knew this will be giving us many problems in the future. So that's why we didn't have any this made song so finished once. So I decided we can do a cover song. You might hear it. We made "Where Did You Sleep Last Night," which is famous for Nirvana's the song. So we made this cover and we released it when it was 2 months ago, I think. And we did this music video. When we were in studio, we got this news that you can't gather above 2 people, more than 2 people. So we were in the studio like in 5-7 people. Like, okay, we're illegal right now.
always feeling a little naughty there. Like, oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, and we were shooting this music video in Polish, near the Polish Sea. It's the most beautiful cliffs in Poland. So if you want to see this music video, it's really pretty. And we did it also illegal because there was no entering the beaches there then. So we just were, hopefully no one will find us here.
Hey, you got stuff to do.
We were really lucky because 2 days after that, they started to monitor with drones all this area. So there was such a horrible, when you have to pay when you do something illegal. Sorry, I forgot the word.
Yeah, like a fine or something.
Yeah. It was so ridiculously high. So I was like, please, no one find us here, please.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, right. Or money.
Yeah, that's.
So we released this song with a US label. They're called DI Records, and they told us they will try to get us to a US tour after all this madness ends. So hopefully they will do it one time.
Hey. And make sure they put some kind of New York tour location on there. Go. Let us know. That's where we're at. So
right, okay.
We'll be keeping an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean that's what we have for all of our questions. But if you just want to throw in like a plug for the band, any information you want to throw out there for anybody.
No.
All right. I mean, yeah, it's the internet. You can definitely find the band. I'll throw the name up again here. Find the band on YouTube. Lots of, you said some music videos on there.
Yeah, we do. We have some music videos on our official channel, and there are also a few music videos on my channel. So if you do #Ofilia, you will find like 5 or 6 music videos of Arshenic.
Oh, nice.
Outstanding. And you can listen on Spotify. That's where I've been listening to it. You got all kinds of places that you can listen to the band, and we can't thank you enough for coming on. We had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we really thank Ofilia from Arshenic for her time. It was a really great interview. It was I think that's our first high-profile interview, ever. Yeah. Very high-profile.
Definitely.
So we've already welcomed her back. As in the interview, she might be planning a U.S. tour. I told her hit up New York.
Yeah.
Give us some backstage passes, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
show the love. Yeah, maybe a little bit. But that is our show. We really hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We always love getting feedback, so make sure you go to iTunes, give us that 5-star or however many stars you want, that review. Mm-hmm. Hit us up, slide into our DMs on social media, all of that good jazz. And the number 1 quarterback rated by PFF last season, rookie quarterback, and number 1 fantasy quarterback heading into this season, and the best mustache in the league by far.
All hail the Jockstrap King.